What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter, and a lot of people be asking me about King Von. I'm not gonna lie. King Von is one of the most people I'm always asked about. Now, I'm always asked about Chief Keef and Lil Durk shit like that too, because I think people know I'm a real street reporter. I'm a real drill historian. I've been documenting the culture for about 8-9 years, and I feel like this is a time period that a lot of people gonna look back on. So I wanted to document it on my YouTube channel. Not to kind of look at it as a joke or think this shit is a game, but it's a lot of young people that lost their life over the gun, and a lot of that shit involved the drill music. I'm not going to say it's all the drill music, because I do believe that the drill music is just music that talks about reality. Now, whether you want to think about it like that, that's on you, you know. It's real shit like that going on. Now, you can let the mayor tell you about Millennium Park, all the nice hotels, the millions of dollars that they spending on free Wi-Fi downtown. But it's a lot of shit going on in these impoverished communities. A lot of killings, and they just getting bolder and bolder, if you ask me. But today, a lot of people are always asking me about a guy. Before we get into that, King Von just dropped the song, Demon. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's one of his best songs if you ask me. In the video, you can feel that shit in your soul. But in the song, he said, Whitey got killed, I seen it. A lot of people always be asking me about a guy by the name of WhiteWhite. And I think it had something to do when... We're going to get to that too. But, you know, when we get to that, I'll remind you guys that we're back at that point. But they always ask me about WhiteWhite. But when King Von dropped that song, you know, people asking me about Whitey. And I do think this is the same person, though. So today we're going to take Oblock Whitey, WhiteWhite to the board today. I'm going to give you some background on him. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to him. And I'm going to give you my conclusion. And my conclusion ain't really the same. I mean, ain't really a different conclusion, because the person who allegedly killed him was actually caught and charged with his murder. But it's a few things I do want to speak on that. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to take Oblock WhiteWhite to the board, okay? These markers are a little screechy. All right? Oblock WhiteWhite. A lot of people hear him as Whitey, I guess. Oh, sorry, y'all. It's a little early today, so I'm writing off. So, first thing I noticed, you know, when I did my homework and did a lot of research, I realized that this guy was affiliated with Oblock. And if we know he's affiliated with Oblock, then he got to be a Black disciple, okay? So he's a Black disciple member. He's from Oblock. He was close friends with a guy by the name of King Von. And we all know who King Von is. He eventually rose up and got real famous in this rap shit. Blew up real big and shit like that. These guys were like real close homies. They used to be together all the time. So evidently, if he's friends of King Von, he's from that community of Oblock, then I knew he had a lot of ops, which was his ops to be the GDs and shit like that. He was beefing a lot with guys from like St. Lawrence, Tuckerville, and Jaro City. You know, those are like some of their main ops and shit like that. Even though they did have a lot of more ops, don't get me wrong, it wasn't just them, because that gang shit run deep. It's not just one neighborhood. Shit can pop off with any neighborhood at any moment, but this is what I noticed when I looked into his background and shit like that. Another thing that I noticed when I looked into him, I noticed that this was like earlier in the drill culture. Most of the information I got on WhiteWhite was like 2010, 2011, 2012. So this kind of like popped off before like the drill culture and shit. So I noticed that this was like, he was like a real gangbanger. From what I heard from people in the streets. Now, I'm not saying that this guy wasn't a nice dude, because I talked to some people who told me that the media portraying him wrong. He was a regular nice kid, and, you know, he wasn't no different than the rest of these kids. These other kids was out here doing that bad shit too, and it's just that he was friends with a rapper. That's why they make all these documentaries and shit about him on the internet. That's what I heard from some people. And I also heard that Buddy ass was out here on that bullshit, playing around with them guns. He wasn't nobody to play with. His ass was a gangbang, and he was on that bullshit. But don't tell him I told you that. But that's what I heard from some people. So I just got to be honest. I got to be transparent and give you both sides, okay? That's like the information I got from him. And I noticed he was affiliated with all those guys from Oblock and shit like that, before the rap shit like that. That's the thing that threw me off. Now, according to the police, now, this is the thing about this shit right here. This one of the killings that throw me off. I got to tell y'all something about this one. You know, according to the police, okay? Oblock Whitey, okay? Oblock Whitey, according to the police. Now, this is what the police is saying, okay? All right? Now, you got to remember, before we get into that, remember I said I want to remind you guys. One of the first times I ever heard WhiteWhite name was a little while ago. I did hear it a little while ago. I recall videos of Tay600 saying he missed Oblock Whitey. And I recall Billionaire Black dissing a guy named WhiteWhite on his song Hibachi that ended up blowing up on Duck YouTube channel after Duck died and shit like that. But according to the police, okay, Oblock Whitey was on 63rd and King Drive, okay? All right? This is what they're claiming, 63rd and King Drive, all right? They're saying he was out there. They say around 11:30 at night, okay? So he's outside 11:30 at night. Next thing you know what I'm saying? Somebody get to shooting, right? Hold up, but this the thing that throw me off. I'm hearing from the people that I talked to, it was a lot of people outside. It was a lot of people outside. He was out there. It's 11:30 at night, and these are things that I don't like. Remember, I told you, when you're out here gang banging, you out here doing bad things, you don't supposed to be out here. You shouldn't have your ass outside at the time of night. It's no reason for you to be outside at 11:30 at night and you on some gang shit. You might end up losing your life. And I be telling people this shit all the time, okay? You shouldn't be out there. But they're claiming that he was outside on that block, and a guy walked up on him, I guess, and blinked him down. Black, 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 black. Get the blinking. Blinks him down. The police even sees the guy blinking. The police runs up. They get the blinking at him. Black, 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 black. The dude who killed Whitey, he gets to shooting at the police. Black, 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 black. It's a big shootout and shit out there, okay? Now, the guy who alleged to kill Whitey, his name is 50 Shots. He's actually from Jaro City. He's actually a close friend of a lot of those guys like Duck, a lot of Tukaville members and shit like that. He's from the area. He's from Jaro City. He was actually shot in the leg. Police catches him. Oblock Whitey get rushed to Stroger Hospital. They're trying to fight for him. Eventually, Oblock Whitey loses his life. He was hit in the back. Oblock Whitey killed due to gun violence. Okay? This happened at 11:30 at night in 2012, according to the police, okay? It's a shootout. A guy by the name of 50 Shots from Jaro City, which is affiliated with the GDs, okay, does this hit, kills this guy, gets in a shootout, with the cops, get caught, you feel me? Police catches him because they synced it. The police synced this shooting. They run up on him. They shoot the guy in the leg. No officers was hit. No officers lost their life, but some bullet holes, I guess, went into the squad cars, according to the paperwork, because I looked at the paperwork. I talked to a lot of people close to the situation. I looked in the newspapers, from the CBS local news, Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Tribune, and it's actually an interview with the shooter who actually killed Oblock Whitey. He's actually been fighting that case for a long ass time. I think he didn't get like the speedy trial shit like that. This guy been locked up for a long time. I've been doing a lot of research. I'm not sure if he took his time or he's still fighting this case. He's been locked up now for about damn near 8, 9, 10 years. I don't even know if shit like that can happen. So I'm not sure if he took his case or he's still fighting that case, you know. I wasn't able to get that information. I've been talking to a lot of people who told me he's still fighting that case. I talked to some people who done told me that he done took that time and shit like that. But he was charged with a murder and 2 attempted murders of a police officer. Just like those 2 young boys who just got done doing that shit recently, you know. So shooting at the police ain't really nothing new and shit like that. But that's why I say I can't really give you a different conclusion on this one here. Because in my opinion, you can see this was gang related. You already see that this was gang related. You know, it's nothing new I can really tell you about that. This was gang related. But as you can see with the KI, the Tuka. Both neighborhoods getting renamed around the same time. Tukaville. Check me out, y'all. Tukaville. Then Oblock. You feel me? KI forgot to put OD. Y'all just see how all this shit connect. Then what y'all hear on the rap shit, who always dissing each other? Tukaville versus Oblock. Who got the beef with each other? King Von lost his life already. He's not here anymore. His newest song says fuck duck on it. You know, just think about this shit, man. This newest song, and both of them not here no more. And his newest song said fuck duck. So we got King Von versus Duck. So now when you look at this, you got 50 Shots versus WhiteWhite. Whitey. Okay? So as you can see, that neighborhood always been in turmoil. That neighborhood always been in war. That neighborhood always had killings. That neighborhood always hated each other. That neighborhood always had the brawl. That neighborhood always been doing the blicking and shit like that. That neighborhood don't like each other. And that's before the rap shit. Chief Keef first song that ever popped off really was 300, and it said fuck a Tuka gang in it. These guys been hating each other for a long time, and that beef has been inherited, and it's going to be inherited by the young people because it's fashionable and it's trendy, and all the young people going to think it's cool to do it. So you can clearly tell that this is bigger than a rap. It's just that they start putting it in a rap and the real caught on to it. But this ain't stemmed from the rap. You know, Larry Hoover and David Barksdale is the creators of this shit. You got Larry Hoover with the GDs. You got David Barksdale with the BDs. I remember the BGD Alliance and all that. But eventually, those guys started getting into turmoil and shit like that. You know, David Barksdale, the leader of the Black Disciples, had a hit out on his life. He eventually died years later from complications of that shit. Larry Hoover ended up getting locked up, then getting in conspiracies. He actually caught that case in Inglewood. David Barksdale had an assassination attempt on his life in Inglewood. Most of this shit happens in Inglewood and the Woodlawn community and shit like that, Washington Park and all those neighborhoods that's close to each other. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I think these wars were inherited from the early 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, and that's super deadly, in my opinion. But subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate the love. We don't need no donations. Keep them to yourself. You want to support me, you hit that like button. Bing. When you do that, it make my videos grow, and a lot of people be able to see them. I appreciate the love. It's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Reporter. Bling, bling.